Question 1. Which feature of a hardware firewall allows you to open a port and direct incoming traffic to a specific computer? A. Port forwarding. B. Multi-factor authentication. C. NAT. D. DMZ. Correct answer. A. Port forwarding. Port forwarding is a firewall or router feature that opens a specific port and forwards incoming traffic from the Internet to a specific internal IP address, a computer or device on your local network. For example, if you want to host a web server on port 80 from your home computer, you use port forwarding to tell the router, any traffic coming to port 80 on the public IP, send it to this internal device. Why the other options are incorrect? B. Multi-factor authentication. MFA is a security method that requires multiple forms of identity verification, such as something you know, password, something you have, smartphone, something you are, fingerprint. It has nothing to do with directing network traffic or opening ports. C. NAT. NAT is the overall technology that allows multiple devices to share a single public IP address. While port forwarding works with NAT, NAT itself doesn't define or configure port rules. It only handles the general IP translation. Port forwarding is a specific function within NAT setups, but NAT alone won't forward traffic to a specific port. D. DMZ. A DMZ exposes an entire device to the Internet with minimal protection, not just a specific port. It's less secure and only used when port forwarding isn't practical or for special use cases. Question 2. Which authentication method is used for centralized authentication and accounting? A. AES. B. Radius. C. NTFS. D. TKIP. Correct answer. B. Radius. Radius stands for Remote Authentication Dial-In User Service. It is a protocol used for centralized authentication, authorization, accounting, commonly called AAA. Radius is typically used by organizations to manage network access, such as VPNs, Wi-Fi authentication, especially in enterprise networks, remote access servers. When a user tries to access a network resource, the Radius server authenticates the user's credentials, authorizes what access they're allowed, tracks/account logs for time, activity, etc. Why the other options are incorrect? A. AES. AES is a data encryption algorithm, not an authentication protocol. It is used to encrypt data, e.g., in Wi-Fi, disk encryption, not to authenticate users or track usage. C. NTFS. NTFS is a file system used by Windows to manage files on a hard drive. While it includes file-level permissions, it does not provide centralized network authentication or accounting. D. TKIP. TKIP is a wireless encryption protocol, part of WPA, Wi-Fi Protected Access. It encrypts Wi-Fi traffic but has nothing to do with centralized user authentication or accounting. Question 3. As a system administrator at a high school managing 5 computer labs, you need to prevent students from accessing the BIOS. What should you do to safeguard these settings? A. Set a password for the BIOS. B. Install video surveillance cameras. C. Remove the BIOS battery from the systems. D. Require lab assistants to monitor students closely. Correct answer. A. Set a password for the BIOS. When a student tries to enter BIOS UEFI during startup, by pressing keys like Del, F2, etc., the system will prompt them to enter a password. Without the password, they cannot access or change system-level settings, like boot sequence, hardware configurations, security settings. This is a standard security practice in schools, labs, and offices to protect devices from unauthorized changes. Why the other options are incorrect. B. Install video surveillance cameras. Cameras help monitor general behavior but do not prevent BIOS access. They are more for deterrence and evidence, not system security. C. Remove the BIOS battery from the systems. This resets the BIOS, including any password you set. It makes the computer more vulnerable, not more secure. Also, it's not practical for managing multiple systems. D. Require lab assistants to monitor students closely. Human monitoring is not reliable 100% of the time. Students can quickly access BIOS during boot when no one is looking. It is not a technical solution. Question 4. Which type of malware is often bundled with legitimate software and can track or report user activities back to a malicious actor? A. Rootkit. B. Spyware. C. Worm. D. Trojan horse. Correct answer, B. Spyware. Spyware is a type of malware that is designed to secretly monitor the user's activities and send information back to a third party, often without the user's consent. It can track browsing habits, log keystrokes, keylogging, capture personal or financial information, send collected data to a remote attacker. Spyware is often bundled with legitimate software, especially freeware or shareware, and users may install it unknowingly when they agree to install another program. Why the other options are incorrect. A. Rootkit. Rootkits are used to hide the presence of malware on a system. They don't typically spy on users directly, but instead conceal other malicious actions. C. Worm. A worm is self-replicating malware that spreads through networks. It doesn't usually track or spy on users. It focuses on spreading and exploiting systems. D. Trojan horse. A Trojan disguises itself as legitimate software, but delivers malicious code once installed. While a Trojan could install spyware, it is not specifically focused on spying. It's more of a delivery method. Question 5. An administrator wants to add an extra layer of security beyond just a password for mobile devices. How can this be achieved? A. Require logins on the hour. B. Implement multi-factor authentication. C. Set a more complex password. D. Encrypt log names. Correct answer. B. Implement multi-factor authentication. To add an extra layer of security beyond just using a password, the most effective method is to use multi-factor authentication. Multi-factor authentication requires 2 or more of the following: something you know, like a password or PIN; something you have, like a smartphone, token, or smart card; something you are, like a fingerprint, facial recognition, or other biometrics. So even if someone guesses or steals the password, they still cannot access the device without the second factor. MFA is widely used for securing mobile devices, apps, email, and cloud accounts. Why the other options are incorrect. A. Require logins on the hour. This only increases how often users must log in. It doesn't make the login process more secure. Could frustrate users without improving protection. C. Set a more complex password. A strong password is helpful, but still just one layer of security. MFA is better because it protects you even if the password is compromised. D. Encrypt log names. Encrypting log file names doesn't protect device access. It's related to system-level file management, not user authentication. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more easy and fun lessons. See you next time.